Hey there, welcome to Contracts and Chaos. My name's Alyssa.
And I'm Brenna, and we're here to tell you that you are not alone in the mayhem of this real estate industry.
We're keeping it real and sharing our stories, strategies, and successes in today's real estate world.
So come join us every Tuesday while we talk Contracts and Chaos. Here's hoping that the mic works out. This is the same, I just got this mic. This is the same mic that I had before because I haven't had any issues with it up until recently.
I think it's your internet.
It very well could be that too.
Because you're cutting in and out. I listened to it yesterday, but we'll see how it sounds on the new one.
We'll see how it sounds.
But we do have to figure out the balance too, because I noticed when our podcast comes up, it's much quieter than anyone else. So I've got to dig into Googling that. I didn't get to it last night.
We're almost 2 years into this and we're still troubleshooting, you guys.
Right. Right.
But just know, we don't have a tech team. We don't send this off and have it. We do this all ourselves. So if you get a wonky episode, forgive us and come back next week.
Yes, and today I can hear the click on your end again. I can hear the spitting.
I don't understand. I might have to get like a whole new system. Is that better? I tried to turn my mic up, thinking like if my mic was all the way up again.
Are you still going through that in-between thing, or are you just plugged right into your computer?
It won't plug right into my computer.
Okay, I think... Okay, well, let's talk about it later. So you'll have to cut this part of the episode out, and we'll talk about that after.
Or I'll just leave it. And if anybody has any tips and tricks, go ahead and message us, because we're still figuring this out. But today, I think we are talking about vacations.
Vacations.
What those are. And why they are important. Like? Listen, I do think that people should take vacations. And I do think that a vacation doesn't mean that you are on your phone, carrying your laptop in a bag, ready to run at the drop of a hat, post it up at a picnic table so you can answer your client questions, putting in a listing agreement. I don't think that necessarily counts, but we are talking about a true, like, unplugged kind of situation and how to set yourself up for that, because there is a way to do it. And, you know, they say if you want more business, go on vacation, which I can attest to somehow that check out. And Alyssa, you've experienced that recently as well.
Yeah, so mine started
it was supposed to be vacation.
Yeah, Ariel's texting me. The offer she submitted last night got accepted. She's super excited.
Nice.
Yes.
Congratulations, Ariel.
Yes, we hope you're listening. You better be listening. Yeah. And if you are listening, I expect you to let me know you heard this, Ariel. But yes, so I was supposed to go on vacation. And
after a series of unfortunate events.
Yeah, unfortunately, that instead of turning into a week at home enjoying my family and having fun and exploring the state I grew up in some more and seeing people, I saw a hell of a lot more people than I expected. I guess we'll find a positive spin to this. So I think I mentioned it slightly in a previous episode. My stepdad passed away as I was driving to New York. I got halfway home and found out that he passed away. It's horrible. It's awful. I'm a month and a week out from it, and a month and 2 weeks now, I guess. And I'm still a hot mess. But the point of this episode is that because I had people in place already for my vacation, it made it very easy for me to transition and say, I'm going to need more from you because this is what just happened. And I called Aaron within 10 minutes of me finding out, within 30 minutes of him dying, and just said, here's what's going on. I'm going to keep driving, and when I get home, I'm going to send you all of this client and contract information, and I need you to just step in. And I called our BIC, and they took over. But I already had people in place because every time I go on vacation, I call my fellow agents and say, hey, are you going to be around next week? Hey, if I need you, like, I don't think I'll need anything. My clients know I'm going out of town. This is how many active buyers I have. I have one in your area. If something comes up, would you be available? And that I was able to, if we're being completely honest, I stepped, other than to hand over information or receive a phone call maybe once a day to clarify something, I fully stepped out of my business for a week. About a week. I stepped out Saturday night, and I didn't fully step back in, honestly, until probably the next Saturday or Sunday. I did a couple of things Friday, but I was just out. I was out.
And you came home to a closing, a final walkthrough, like all of these things. The wheels kept turning. Nothing burned down catastrophically, and your business like died while you were gone. But that's what's important. And again, this goes back to a communication piece that we talk about over and over and over and over with your clients and with your peers. Like, this is a lonely business if you choose it to be. So make those connections, make those friendships, so you can be like, hey, I'm going home to see my family for a couple of days. Like you said, my clients are taken care of. Like, we're headed to Maine next week. And right now, my people don't need anything from me, right? We're the stuff that I have under contract is like a long contract. We don't have anything going on, but they know that I'm going to be out of town. And if they do need something, A, we have a transaction coordinator if they have any quirky questions. B, if I don't have any active buyers looking right now either, because I just got the last one under contract. But that's not to say, like, I feel like there's such a hesitance in this industry that, okay, so back up again. I think there's two sides. There's either the people that will pay anyone and everyone, or not pay. Just ask anyone and everyone to go show this house, to go do this, to go do that. And I don't think that necessarily helps their business. Or there's those people that are like, I won't have an agent from my office show this property because I don't want them to steal my client.
I would be more concerned about an agent from another office stealing my client. Like,
it seems very aggressive on either side. They either do it all the time, they barely show houses themselves, or they're afraid to utilize the people around us.
Yeah, and you can't be afraid of that. And your business can't just stop either. What if the clients who haven't looked at something in 3 weeks because nothing's come up, suddenly a house comes up and there's a deadline for offers? What are you going to do? Like, that's not serving your clients. So
and we're
you
not
need
Target,
to have a plan in place.
Right. We're not Target. But say Target's, CEO was like, I'm going on vacation. Does Target shut down? No. That's obviously, it's a very dramatic example.
That is a very dramatic example.
It's a very dramatic example. But the wheels keep turning. Now, we have boundaries in place. Our business, every business has business hours, right? And even those like small mom and pop boutiques or small restaurants, sometimes they're like, hey, we're on family vacation. There's a little like 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper taped to the window. See you next week, right? We are taking some time off. And do they come back and every single one of their clients never returns? No.
But I feel
planning ahead is a huge piece.
Yeah. And a restaurant is a little different because people will come back another night for dinner. But if you miss an offer for a client, they're probably not coming back. So you have to have that plan in place. And as much as, don't get me wrong, there are times where you should be able to completely step away and not have to look at your phone or have your computer. At the same time, that is part of the business you signed up for. So even if you have an agent covering things, you probably at a minimum need to have your phone so that you can monitor and just be like, or if they need you to step in, if they're like, shit's hitting the fan and we truly need you. Like, I had to do that once during this whole thing because my client wasn't comprehending what the other agent was saying. And the agent was doing a fine job. I had the better relationship with that client to understand how they function. So I got on the phone and was like, don't be a dumbass. Like, he really likes cars and he wasn't comprehending the repair request. And so I broke it down into car terms for him. And didn't really tell. He's a good friend, and I could have told him, don't be a dumbass. His girlfriend wanted me to say that. But yes, you should be able to completely disconnect at the same time. in certain situations, you may not be able to, or you need to monitor. So like typically one of my things when I go on vacation, especially this week with my family, is a vacation. Some people, my stepdad would have told you, visiting family is not vacation. It doesn't count. Okay. But we had arguments over that one. But like, and it's different because I am with the family. So I usually tell my clients, hey, or people, and I'll have an out of office. It says, I'm checking email at this time in the morning. If this is urgent, please call or text me, and I will get back to you. But I'm checking email in the morning and I might be checking in the evenings. But once that festival at home starts, so like Thursday night through Sunday, once a day, that's all you get, because I'm going to the kids parade and I'm going to the concerts and I'm going to the fireworks and I will not be attached. So unless it's an emergency, I'm checking emails once a day. Mm-hmm. So it doesn't all have to be putting it on someone else. It does depend on what level of vacation are you taking? What level of disconnect do you want or need? We were just talking about, I'm booking a spa day for some business planning coming up and to just de-stress. I'm going to book it on a Sunday afternoon. No one's going to need anything. Attorneys' offices are closed. Banks are closed. If I need to do showings, I will schedule them in the morning. If clients need them in the afternoon, then I will pay another agent to take them. Mm-hmm. Same thing as a vacation. I'm booking 6 hours to myself. So you've got to put those in place. So I think one of the most important things is, where do you find these people? How do you know who to trust?
I think that's the biggest
part of
thing.
that's like building a network of agents. You've got to get out there and meet other people, especially if you're a solo agent. And even if you're on a team, I know someone who was on a team and she couldn't get people to cover shit while she was gone. What's the point of being on the team if they're not giving you leads or covering you for things?
Yeah, there's a lot that goes into that. And you and I are really good at, something just happened.
Yeah, you're coming through my computer all.
I heard myself. We are really good at making connections outside of, because we have a cloud brokerage, right? So we have to be very specific about who we're connected with and those kinds of things. Your coffee meetups, we've talked about this before. Agents that you've done business with, like, I guess you'd have to check your firm's policies about like outside of your firm. I know that there's apps like that Show Me app, like that you can just hire a showing agent.
Right.
Personally, I like to know who the agent is. Right. Mm-hmm. That's just something that they've done a successful business, that I know how they treat their clients. So I would expect them to treat mine the same way. And that I know them, trust them enough that if they were in a situation at a showing and they had a question, or my clients had a specific question, they would reach out and be like, hey, this went really well. They were worried about X, Y, Z, right? I need them to give me something to go on because I'm not there. They have to be my eyes and ears at a showing so then I can still serve my clients throughout the remainder of the transaction if we end up going under contract on that one. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, absolutely. And that's important, is nurturing. Come to the coffee meetups, come to the luncheons, like meet people, get their information, hang out with them outside of those things. Like obviously Brenna is one of my go-tos if I know she'd have the availability to come towards me a little bit. One of the agents who covered me, she happens to be my best friend, but she has 2 closings today and back to back with a third one that's affecting these 2. She's not able to handle showings. Well, she had a client surprise her and show up from New York today.
Oh, no.
And she's like, she wants to go see properties. And I was like, well, I'm recording this, but after that I can take her. I have some other stuff I need to do, but I can run out and take her. Not a big deal. So it's that exchange. You get to where it's like, you have that. They're not all going to become your best friend. Erin and I just happen to be best friends because we bonded over Mackenzie Childs. But you'll find your people and you'll build those relationships and you'll know who to trust. I know someone I sent to do a showing and I thought I could trust. And this was a year ago. I won't let them do them anymore. I won't let them do it unless I have time to do a second showing myself before I write an offer, because I never would have let a client write an offer on that one. Absolutely not. Knowing the type of financing and the appraisal, no freaking way.
That's hard. I think ultimately, really, and we talked about, we're going to keep this one a little bit shorter, but it really does, like, it really does depend, right? Because if this was a planned vacation and you had your auto email set up, because this was a planned vacation for you in this last instance, right? So, because I actually connected with one of your clients to try to get them into a property, and that it didn't end up panning out, but irrelevant. I kept Alyssa in the email loop, right? So if she wants to check in and see what we're chatting about, that's totally cool, right? Nothing's going on behind the scenes that she can't know about. I think that that's important, again, because in that responder email, and I have a very similar one, it's hilarious, because when I read yours, I was like, oh my God, it's very similar to mine, but
we're the same person.
We're the same person. And basically it just says, hey, this is what I'm doing. Thank you for your patience. If this is an emergency, you have my number. If it's not an emergency, please understand that I will check emails at whatever, 9 a.m. And that's usually, like, when I go away, especially to see family and stuff, A, because I'm busy, B, because it's the state of Maine and I have no idea who has Wi-Fi or if I'm going to have to find a McDonald's parking lot, you know? Like,
for the record, McDonald's does have public Wi-Fi. I found that out on the recent trip home, because I had to submit an offer and I was like, there's no Starbucks in West Virginia. But McDonald's has Wi-Fi.
McDonald's has public Wi-Fi, yes. So it's just one of those things. And it lets people know that, like, listen, I'm really trying to tap out on this. And again, in this situation, I don't have any active things happening, like things that would need my immediate assistance. When we went on our cruise, gosh, it's been a couple of years ago now, I had a property actively, like, trying to go under contract while we were driving to the port, and I was like, you have got to be kidding me, right? Because we're heading out into the middle of the ocean and I'm still trying to negotiate this offer, desperately trying to make this Wi-Fi on this bobbly little boat that 5,000 other people are trying to use work enough for me to get this offer going. But that, again, you're 100% right. You have to understand that you are your business. If you're not a showing agent on a larger team or something along those lines, where you step away and the wheels keep turning, you need to know that sometimes that there are instances where, yes, you weren't planning on being the face of that bit of your business today. You were planning on having your phone on Do Not Disturb and going to the park. But sometimes you have these people that have chosen you to represent and work with them through this transaction. And if that transaction is at a point where you can't just say, so sorry, I'll check in with you in 2 weeks or a week or 3 days, you really ought to jump in on that, because I've been on the other side of a transaction with agents that are just gone.
Yes. Who just up and went to Italy for a month.
Well, like, exactly. And you have no idea. Like, I think we've talked about this on before. These clients called me after closing and were like, hey, our agent's, like, not coming back in town for 3 weeks. Do we have to wait to get the keys to get in? Honey, you own the house. What do you mean?
Yeah, that's crazy. Yeah, well, and I think another thing is, too, that, and I don't even think it's in this list that we came up with, but say you are booking a month-long Mediterranean vacation. Fucking go for it. But
it's too short,
something
man.
You plan on a whim. So if you need to, you know that's coming up in November. Maybe any new business that starts coming to you that's going to be in the middle of that timeline, you refer out. Take the referral fee and explain, hey, I'm not going to be able to serve you properly during this time because you need full service. I'm going to refer you to this agent I trust. I think that is if you're booking something where you truly need to disconnect, and that, or even if it's it's a week, and you've had it planned, but then this comes up, and then maybe instead of just asking an agent to help or paying them a small fee, then you give them a referral fee. You give them a split for stepping in while you're gone for a week or two.
Yeah, I think it depends on how much work and how much effort is going in on their side. Like, I've paid agents $50, $75, $100 to show a house. Right. Depends on how bad I need it and the situation.
Yeah, if you're completely unplugging, no computer, no nothing, for more than, I would say, 2 days, and expecting this agent to step in fully for you, you should be paying something. Mm-hmm. the way I handled mine. And I took it from, because it was so last, I wasn't expecting it. I didn't know what to do. I didn't have paperwork in place. I didn't want to insult anyone by being like, okay, what do you want for a referral fee now? I took them to a very fancy dinner. I took them to one of the best restaurants in Charlotte and was like, this is on me. Unplug here. Like,
this is
because
my
I felt
thank you.
that, because they're my best friends. I was like, it would be weird for me to then say, how much money do you want? And my BIC said, I think this is a better route. And I was like, okay. But if you're planning, or if you truly are 100% gone, they're taking over everything, I'd be paying a split. I would be paying a split.
And as far
absolutely.
as the boundaries and communication with your clients, like, this doesn't start the day before your vacation, right?
No,
this
like my clients
back when
knew.
Right. This starts back when you have your buyer consultation and you're like, listen, Sundays is my family day and I don't respond to calls or texts after 7 p.m., right? You start those expectations early, because if you are one of those agents that, you know, at 11 o'clock at night, you're texting them back regarding a property that they just saw on Zillow, and then you're suddenly like, hey, I'm going to be gone for 3 days, but you've been immediately right at their beck and call for the last 3-4 weeks, 2 months, however long it is. That's going to be a much bigger shock to them than saying, hey, these are professional boundaries. These are my work hours. This is when you will expect to hear from me. And then that transfers just as easily into your away time. So, hey, you know, I'm headed out of town. So for me, we're leaving Thursday, but I'll be available all day Thursday pretty much, because except for the 2 hours that we're actually in the air, but that's irrelevant.
Right.
So basically, I'm just letting them know that I'm taking an additional, like, Friday and Saturday. You probably won't get. I'll be checking email, but beyond that, because Sunday I already have off, and I'll be back available.
Yeah, or
Monday.
like mine, my listing was going under contract well before I left, but I knew I had this week planned. So when we were negotiating the contract, I talked to my client and said, hey, we can accept this closing date. Just understand, I won't be in town. Mm-hmm. If you're not okay with that, or with me sending another agent, then we need to try to pick another closing date, because I won't be here. Yep. And she was like, no, that's fine, as long as you have another agent come. So that was already lined up. Like, and my other clients knew, like my other listing, they knew I'd be gone that week. We were negotiating repairs, nothing I need to be in person for, you know? So it was, you have to set that expectation and do it early, because if you're, and don't get me wrong, there are times where you have to suddenly pop out of town unexpectedly, but the earlier you can let people know, or make sure you have that stuff in place, the better, so that they're not like, what is going on? And I did. Absolutely. I have one client who I was working with earlier in the spring, and she was used to me responding like that. We had stopped working together for a little while because she had some stuff to figure out, and I didn't get back to her in the normal 5 minutes. It was literally overnight, because I was in the middle of stuff during all of this, and she was like, are you okay? And I had to explain to her, I'm really sorry, I'm out of town, and this is what's going on. Do you need me right now? Like, we haven't looked at houses in months, or did you just need to complain about what's going on in your life? And she she knows I mean that in an absolutely endearing manner. And she was like, I just needed to complain. I did find a house, but that's okay. Like, it's fine. And I was like, hold on. Like, I'll look at it. It's just because I was home last week with all the dog mess. And I was like, but I'm literally driving to Cornell right now. So give me it's going to be a couple hours before I can look into this for you. So, yeah. But I also
say again,
vacation's important. Sorry, go ahead.
Mm-hmm. No, I was just going to, as far as you can tell people 6 times you're going on vacation. I think that's so important to have that autoresponder on there for your emails too, because there's going to be somebody that forgot that you told them, right? And then that email is going to pop up and they'll be like, oh, that's right, she's not here today. Yep. And that's fine.
I wish you could do autoresponders for text messages.
Wouldn't that be so nice? Come on, Apple.
Apple, if we can put it on Do Not Disturb, can I get an autoresponder?
That'd be great.
Yeah. But yeah, autoresponders are perfect. You've got to prep people, because vacation's important. You need to prevent burnout. And I experienced, emergencies happen. And I've experienced it twice in a month, because when I came home the next month to check on mom and spread ashes, I spent 4 days at Cornell Vet Hospital with dogs. So emergencies happen, and you just need to have a plan that shows you're a professional, that shows, okay, I have the tools and the processes in place. I don't just disappear. I don't just drop my clients. There are people to step in. And thank God Emily is there because, you know, my TC, like, she handled a lot more. I sent her a great gift package too, because I was like, you went above and beyond, Emily, like above and beyond.
Well, and confidence is contagious too. So if you're letting somebody know that you're headed out on vacation and you're just like, hey, I'm going to be out for the next 2 days, nothing like, especially if you know, again, that there's nothing crazy that we're expecting. We're not expecting anything crazy over these next 3 days. If something does come up and you need me, I'll be checking email at 9 o'clock. If it's an emergency, you can text me, but I will be kind of unplugging. That, they're like, oh, okay. It's, you make it no big deal. It's no big deal.
Right. Exactly. Yep. So quick recap, because we've been on this for 25 minutes and we were going to try and keep this a little quicker today. Make sure you're prepping ahead.
We're very bad at that.
Make sure you know who your people are and that they know they're your people. Because if you don't tell them, they might have plans. Lean on those trusted peers. I leaned on mine heavier than I ever have. And it felt awful and wonderful at the same time to know that I could. Set expectations. That's number 3 with your clients, with the other parties involved, like the agents on the other side of the transaction. They knew I was on vacation that week too, but they knew I'm checking. As soon as everything happened, they also found out, hey, here's what's going on. And number 4, don't be afraid to unplug. You got to take care of yourself. You've got to take care of your family. Life happens, but you shouldn't let it hold you back. So
I think that was, that was the mic drop. Shouldn't let it hold you back. All right. Well, on that note, you guys, we will see you next week. We just finished another episode of Contracts and Chaos, but believe me, the chaos does not stop here. So check out the show notes for our email address and where to follow us on socials, and we will see you next week.